Good evening and welcome to the 2005 Gifts for the Soul show on News for the Soul. The following guests that you're about to hear will absolutely blow you away. They're doing amazing things. They're on purpose. They're making a difference. With some of them have the most incredible stories. This is information that you can't get anywhere else, and you're going to get it right here tonight. And speaking of getting it, I got it big time. Kerrie Oconnor is an incredible medium intuitive that I got to experience the work of firsthand within this interview that you're about to hear. Her website, insideout-outsidein.com. Insideout-outsidein.com. This interview starts out talking a little bit about Kerrie's story, how she's always been able to see and intuit things differently than the average person. And then, as in most cases, when I'm talking to people that do this kind of work, I asked her to do a mini example reading with myself, expecting a nice reading and having an enjoyable time. And I'm telling you, there's nothing edited out of what you're going to hear in the reading whatsoever. She did not know me, information about me that was relayed, and there was no other information. It wasn't like a cold reading, fishing for, a line of questioning that was having a positive reaction or of any kind. What you're about to hear is all that she's had, and it absolutely was my gift for the soul. So I really want to strongly validate what you're about to hear, because I'm telling you, I am convinced from this experience that she is extremely real in what she's doing and extremely good at what she does. Let's go now to our interview, her first gift for the soul, Kerrie Oconnor. Our next gift for the soul, Kerrie Oconnor. She is a psychic, clairvoyant, medium, intuitive, all of those things and probably more, Reiki master and others. She has a new radio show called Light Streamy Live, and where she does energy readings, mediumship, and more. Let's find out about this. Welcome to News for the Soul and Gifts for the Soul, Kerrie Oconnor.
Hi, Nicole. How are you?
I am well, and it's a pleasure to talk to you today. So tell me about your new show.
The radio show is where I have a co-host, David Turco, and the callers call in, and they're able to, I tap into their light stream, which is their aura, their energy field, and I read it. So the reading can go from anywhere from mediumship, where I've tapped into lost children, husbands, to all of that stuff, down to pets, or it could take a turn where it goes more of an energetic reading, where I could tell them where I'm seeing physical blocks, which could be more of a medical intuitive reading. So the people call up, and then I just tap into their light stream, their aura, their energy field.
Their literal light stream.
Yes.
Okay. How did you learn to do this?
Since I was born, I've always seen energy fields. I've always seen energy patterns, and I've always been a medium. Although I've always seen people that have died. I always saw Jesus and Mary. I was raised Catholic, and Nicole, I thought everyone did, and I didn't really. And my whole family is very clairvoyant. My mother, my sisters, and I didn't really realize it was something different until I was in probably 7 years old in catechism, when a nun told me that it was not the normal thing. So it's something that I've always had.
Did she also tell you it was not good?
Yeah,
or?
She was not too happy, because I heard, Jesus came in and she was talking about the Noah's Ark version of the Bible, and he said that it wasn't correct. And so I was a very shy child, and all of a sudden I found myself raising my hand and disagreeing with the Noah's Ark version of the Bible, and then she threw the Bible at me, asked me if I am saying, did I know more than, am I saying I know more than the Bible, and in my authority on the Bible, and I actually felt very betrayed by Jesus, because I thought the nun would have seen him standing next to her, and that's when I really realized that she did not see him standing next to her, and I didn't know why he wanted me to get in trouble in catechism. So it was a huge turning point in my life, where I realized that everyone does not see spirit, and to kind of keep stuff to myself. But no, she did not take that information very well. Actually, it was kind of interesting, because then I had like energetic earmuffs over my ears, where I didn't absorb a lot of the Catholicism. And because part of my energy field, what I look at now, 30 years later, is that my energy field was such a traumatic event. I was starting to close down because I was again painfully shy, and I was going to start closing down because it was such a slap in the face. And then I had like these earmuffs, so I didn't absorb a lot of the Catholicism. I went through the whole confirmation stuff, but I didn't absorb a lot of the information.
Wow. Now, when you see these spirits, I mean, how well do you see them?
I see them as clear as it's kind of like the sixth sense, but it's really not. They're subtle energy. But a client just asked me that, and I see them as clear as I need to see them. If the person wants me to confirm with them, like, do they have dark hair, light hair, what they like to wear, and sometimes the person could come in very much a lumberjacket shirt with a hat on that they always wore, and it could be clear as day. What with my agreement with the spirit, which they understand with me, is that if the person isn't interested in that kind of stuff, and they want more of a name verification or confirmation, or an emotional thing, they talk about how they were emotionally, or they act out how they were, then that's usually enough for the clients. But I could see them pretty clearly. They come in very, very clear.
And is it primarily visual?
It's actually, I do visual, but I also am very clear cognitive, where a picture says 1,000 words, and I always believe everyone's at least 3 things at the same time. So I'm clairvoyant, claircognitive, and clairaudient, where I hear what they're saying, and as claircognitive is just a clear knowing, and they'll show me a picture, and I could go on for an hour of what it means, and clairvoyance is clear seeing. So I kind of do all 3 of them at once.
So is the picture like in your mind's eye?
Yeah, it's in my mind's eye. Yeah.
But when you see the spirit, it's in the room.
Yes. Oh, the spirit walks. Yeah, they come right in the room. I could be at Walmart and I could see spirits around people. We always have people around, angels and guides, but also the relatives, and yeah, when the spirit walks in the room, it's different from guides or reading their energy field. They come in differently.
God, spirits go to Walmart?
Yes.
Jeez. So what sort of reading services do you do? You mentioned clients.
Yes, I offer a sort of thing. I could go. It's really I say an A to Z. Some clients do not know anything. They've come to me because they've heard about me. This business is a very large word of mouth, and they could have lost somebody, so it's a mediumship reading. So I only know their first name. I have clients all across the country, and I just read their vibration, and it could be very much a mediumship, matching somebody up with somebody that has crossed over. Some people that have heard about me, that could be a yoga instructor or polarities or some sort of energy worker, they're okay with the people that have crossed over because they sense them around. They want a little bit deeper reading because I read the energy field quite deep. I can split it up into all these different layers, and so those people could call up and say they want a light stream balancing reading, which is more of reading the energy field and not so much mediumship. But mediumship can come in where relatives would come in and talk about generational patterns that a client could have in their body, such as alcoholism, and encouraging them to overcome that, and so that would be a different kind of reading. But from mediumship to pet communication to any kind of reading, because I see us as like a walking tarot card, that we are walking information. All our Akashic records are within our energy field, and so it really depends on my intention when I read the client is the highest and best for the client. And so when I tap in, it's like my guides meet their guides. I become the bridge, and I'm the bridge between what their soul wants to tell them, because sometimes we can't hear our own messages because we're just kind of stuck in the kind of blocked with our own messages, and so I act like the bridge with that.
Okay. Now, do people have to come physically to you to do that?
I have many clients in California, all across the country, and actually it's getting quite international, where I have a lot of phone set clients that I have never met the person, because everything is energy, and I could tap into a person as over the phone as much as I can in person. Some people want to come because they don't understand the phone thing, that you can read energy over the phone. But no, I have many. I'd say 50% of my clients are phone that I have never met before. On the physical plane, I've met them energetically, but not in person.
Well, as a remote viewer, I can certainly understand that.
Yeah.
All right, so this could be opening a whole can of worms right on the air, but can you demonstrate via a mini reading with me?
Sure.
Okay.
First of all, I always tell this to people, I usually only take, as my assistant made this thing happen, so the only thing I know about you is your name is Nicole, and I like it like that. I don't like to know any information about the person. But you already shared that you are a remote viewer. I just see how intuitive you are. And also, your father's in spirit? You have a father. Your father's in spirit, Nicole?
An adopted father just passed.
Okay, that's when they could drop adopted, they could drop stepfather, that kind of stuff. But he's right on your shoulder. And actually, when Colleen told me to call you, that we had set up this interview, your father came through first before I even tapped into your energy, and he's hanging right on your shoulder, and he's putting his hand on your shoulder, and also he's pointing to his heart. And when I see that, Nicole, it's like asking for forgiveness. He goes over there and he has regrets. He's also showing me where his eyes were closed, so that's where he could have stood in front of the tree and not looked at the forest, and have been kind of stubborn, and so he has some regrets. And also he's starting, when I'm looking at his energy field where his eyes open slowly, that shows me that when he first goes over there he kind of freezes a little bit, and then he slowly opens, and then he can't believe what it's like over there. A lot of people do have kind of a shock because they just lose a physical body, and they're still very much alive, and that's where he's going through the kind of the process of I'm still alive, which a lot of them, especially because he just passed, he's just kind of going through that process, getting his spiritual shoes on. And also he's pointing to lights, and he's also pointing to the number 333. So pay attention to seeing a lot of 333s. All of a sudden you look at the clock and it's 3:33. Also, he's showing me how you separate from family, which means that you're ahead of the family, you're a forward thinker, you break all generational patterns. You don't, like a lot of people would not go where you go because they could be afraid because of generational patterns, don't speak up, you have to do something more traditional, and he congratulates you where he might not have been the biggest supporter here, and so he wants to say he views things differently because the way he keeps on pointing to his eyes, he's just talking about his view. He also is bringing in a dog from you, and I'm feeling like you had this dog a long time ago because this dog is right by your side, and it's either a lab or a golden retriever. It's one of those friendly kind of dogs, and the dog's not coming in so clear, but that means it's been there for a long time ago, and it's a gift from you. But also, when he's bringing this dog in, symbolically, he's taking the dog, Nicole, to his side, where it's like a seeing dog, for somebody like blind, and so again, he's going and having accountability where he could have been blind about stuff, having his own blind spots, because the dog, again, now is acting like a blind dog, seer dog, and that's where he's, when in the process, in the life review, he's going through his not seeing clearly kind of stuff, but then he will, when he goes through the life review, he'll see where he had stuff, and then he could, or he could have done things better, and he'll come in and be a really huge supporter. He's doing a lot of work over there already. Do you feel him, Nicole? Because he keeps on tapping your shoulder, and that usually is my symbol that you could feel him.
Yeah. And it's, I can validate everything you said, except the size of the dog, but it was probably a big dog at heart. And, yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's also, pay attention the next 5 days because he's planning on really making a big appearance with you. So that's like where you're going to be kind of, how sometimes they jump in and they could kind of startle us where, like kind of in the between times when we go to bed at night and stuff like that, where you could swear you just saw him. Also, he keeps on giving you the microphone, and I know that you have a mic in front of your face right now, but he's showing me on the worldwide, so he's encouraging you, especially the next 3 years, and I'm not sure, he's making me feel a lot of threes around you, Nicole, in the last 3 years, like how far you've come in the last 3 years, and where you're going to the next 3 years is breaking international borders. If not, you haven't already, but he's making me feel like you're at the beginning of a very big, broad thing, and he's sitting there and as one of your biggest fans. Nice.
Wow. That was very good. I can strongly validate the healing aspect of, you know, that would be the one thing that if he was really coming through that he'd need to be saying is the forgiveness issue and blindness and, very healing.
Nicole, that's what I love about it, because I was going to be a psychologist when I was younger, because that's where I thought I could use the gifts, and I have a lot of clients that are therapists and stuff, and the thing that I like to tap into is the emotional part and the forgiveness. And when he's coming in and really, as he's coming in saying how blind he was, he means how blind he was. He means, and the first thing they do is point to their heart, saying, asking for forgiveness. He is literally asking for forgiveness, because in their life review, the first thing they see is he feels how you felt firsthand, not secondhand, not watching the movie, firsthand. And that is painful. And so the first thing that they come in and they do is they have regrets, and they talk about the emotional issues that they've had. And even, if we could go further, he'd even talk about where his upbringing was, what made him believe that. He didn't have the guts to go further and to break boundaries. He was very timed to make the donuts straight in line. Things are black and white, all that stuff, and all of that goes down to blind-sighted, colorblind, all that kind of stuff. And here you were a gift to show him expansion, and that the world can be safe, and it's just a whole different life where he was terrified.
Wow. Those are words that they used, black and white. Everything was black and white.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very good. Boy, what a way to start my day. Excellent. So tell me about the energy, when you see the energy.
When I see the energy, it's interesting, because the last year we energetically have been making such growth, and I know a lot of people are talking about it, and I have said to clients in classes that I teach that I'm not going to say any more about how I'm looking at a different part of the energy field, because I'm just looking, I am continually, my sight is changing as far as looking at the different parts of the energy field. But to keep it simple, we're really stepping into a different energy field. It's like a fifth dimensional body. And for anyone that doesn't know what that is, we've evolved. We've evolved over time, and we've evolved for thousands of years. We constantly are evolving. And now we're stepping into this energy field that holds more high-frequency energy. So what does that mean? That means that we're stepping more into our angelness than our, again, just keeping it very simple, than the humanness that we are, and then we could really co-create the miracles that we are, and really live a self-empowered life, and just and have so much more joy than have drama and trauma than we have in our lives. And so, as far as where the energy reads, I go where the person can have blocks. And also, what's so fascinating, especially in the last 6 months, is when a client is coming in either in person or over the phone, is that I'm seeing, I see it like little marks in energy field, just like little pen marks, and that's trauma and blocked energy. And if I go into like a little mark, it would become a hologram ball where I could see the whole trauma play out, and it could be an abuse, it could be sexual abuse, it could also be as simple as a teacher giving you a dirty look and you're a very sensitive person, and that shuts you down a little bit. And so what I'm seeing is that we're able to transmute, get all those balls, but what we go underneath is that it goes into a theme. So we get all those marks, we're able to get the theme. The theme could be abandonment, suffering. They believe in suffering in some way, and so we could just transmute, put a very high frequency energy, transmute those themes, and then having the ability to hold more of this very high frequency energy. And again, that affects the physical, mental, spiritual, emotional bodies. I've had clients that had stage 4 cancer throughout their lungs and their sternum and all their lymphs that did not have it anymore. That's where we're going. I've had brain lesions go away. And I'm not taking credit for it. I've opened a space where the person is able to pull in, again, this high energy where they don't have the blocks, and then their body heals itself because they don't have all the blocks that hold them back. And so we are really in exciting times. And as far as the energy reading, I'll just read, I could read many, many different layers of energy fields.
Wow, that's quite incredible. Boy. You know, I'm thinking as you're talking that we're on Gifts for the Soul today, and we're putting you out to the world as one of our gifts for the soul for them, but you were my gift today. Gift for my soul, and I really want to thank you for what you're doing and validate the power of what you're doing. You're doing a great service for the world.
Oh, thank you, Nicole.
How do people reach you for readings and such?
They could reach me by my telephone is 860-887-1201, or they could reach by email, and the email is union1111@yahoo.com. And also they could check out what's going on at the website, and it's www.insideout/outsideinc.com.
Awesome. Well, we will have that posted on News for the Soul.
Okay.
And this has been a great pleasure, and I really want to thank you for your gift today.
Okay, Nicole, thank you.